Sup guys, it's Desro for Replay Thursday episode 6, HotS edition. Decided to do HotS because a lot of people are playing it, and you know, I thought maybe on Reddit it could get some more upvotes since it's Art of the Swarm and people are hyped about Art of the Swarm. Oh boy, was I wrong. We got less upvotes than before, so I don't know. Maybe I'm gonna have to rethink the format or something, or I don't know what's gonna happen, but I'm gonna stick with it until the HotS break, because HotS will go down for like 2 weeks before release. So like beginning of March, HotS servers are gonna go down. So basically this week, next week, and the week after, I'll be doing Replay Thursday HotS edition. And I might do, well, during the 2 last weeks, I might do some Wings one if you have a replay and you want to learn, because in the end, even if it's hot, even if it's Wings, the mistakes you make can be fixed for the for HotS, or for it's still useful even if it's not the game that you play the most. So here we have a PvP from N8JS. Hey, that's from your favorite bronze diamond player. I think I judged him too hard in a previous Replay Thursday. Maybe that's why he says that. It's a PvP with a 2-gate expo by me. Not much else said in the comment on Reddit, so I don't know. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. Like here, you're holding on to your chrono far too long. You should always do 3 chrono in PvP. Some people will do 4. Some people will do 4. Some people will do. Most people will do 3. Some people will do 2 if they're 4-gating, or will do 2 if they're scared of like a 4-gate and they hold on to their 3rd chrono just in case. Same thing with the Zot. I mean, you're chronoing a Zot, like the Zot, like alright, so we're gonna judge the life of the Zot, So the Zot, he was chronoed. What did he accomplish that was useful? Like, in the time that he was that he got on the map, like what did he do that was useful? Like basically what I'm trying to say, and I'm failing at talking English, but what I'm saying is the Zealot didn't have any decent purpose of being chronoed early on. So that could have been another probe, another chrono on probes. They could have been a chrono on warp gate, because your warp gate is fairly late. Now you get supply block. Yeah, I mean, so you see that he's he's chronoing probes. He's added a lot of probes on gas. If you clicked on this gas, you would know that it was 2 gas before core. I mean, this map is a little tricky because there's no watchtowers to help you see if he's gonna attack you or not. You're cutting probes also, which is not very good. If you're gonna do this build, I mean, there's not really any reason to cut. Like, I'm just a little yeah, you shouldn't have let that finish. I'm just a little disappointed in the execution of your build. some supply block, cutting probes. Here you're just, I don't know, you're trying to scare him or something. There's also no mothership core, so I don't know how much HotS you played, but usually you'll add your mothership core fairly early on. Well, I mean, it turned out okay, but I mean, the pressure you're trying to do, really, this is like a, I think you're taking that build from me, maybe, that's a Wings build, but yeah, it's not something I would recommend, but I mean, it worked out fairly nice for you, so, yeah, so I don't know. And like at this point, you make 2 Zots, right? But you can end this game if you keep the bigger stalker count. So like those 2 are stalkers. This guy dies. It's 4 stalker to 3, and you have 2 more stalkers on the way. The game ends, bam. Instead of going on 23 minutes longer. Just for your information, like Stalker versus Stalker, it's always who has the bigger Stalker count, and you had the option to have the bigger Stalker count, but you so here, I mean, pull back. There's like, because like the longer you take, the longer it takes for him to clear out those Stalkers, the longer he's not going to be mining. He's going to lose more probes because of those odds. So like if you run with the Stalkers, it's just fine. But here you're going to take some cost inefficient trade. You're going to attack the rocks, and you lost like 2 Stalkers for nothing. So you know, at this point, yeah, you're ahead, yeah, you're expanding, yeah, you did decent, meh, you're cutting probes for no reason. And then here you're doing like some really cost inefficient trades. Well, I mean, you're getting probes and he's not mining, so to say that it's cost ineffective is debatable. And then now you're setting up a contain. I like that, smart thinking. But you just need to rework like your decision making in micro battles. There's no reason to take a cost ineffective fight if you can gain more from. I mean, it's okay to take something that's not cost effective if you can gain more from it, and you did kill a decent amount of probes. So like, it's hard to judge, but I still feel like you could have. Yeah, this needs to be on hold position. And there's no reason not to, by the way, 2 here is too many. There's no reason here to not reinforce. So like some more Stalkers. Like you could have pinned them down much longer than that. And Stalkers here is not gonna cut it. And yeah, it's basically, so like you set yourself in like really good situations, but some of your decision making is not up to par. And then because of that, you like let him come back, you let him breed, you let him. It's like you're shoving his head underwater, and you're like, "Well, I kind of like you. We're gonna keep this game going because I feel awesome, because I did super well." But if you look at the unit loss tab, of course you have an expand, and the work account is gonna be like close to impossible for him to come back. You know, it's oh, you need better SimCities, bro. Oh, I like that, the shift rally. It's very good. But yeah, I mean, you just need you need to have like the killer instinct, and like even though you have a lead, you need to not botch your decision making. Or yeah, but I mean, you're a diamond player, so like it's pretty good so far of what you've accomplished. I'm on the ship core, comes in a little bit late and for my tastes, but yeah, I mean like if you just think how the game went, like how you had like a retard magnet pylon in the back of his base, it's kind of a cool game. So I'm not an expert in PvP for HotS. Some people will go Stargate, some people will make a lot of Void Rays. But then again, if you have Blink, the Void Rays are kind of taken out of the equation. Like you can deal with them. But yeah, right now, like you're not scouting his army composition, and that's what's scary to me, because I think like, well, actually, if that guy would go Oracle, you would probably die to counterattack. But with the Mothership Core, doing an attack like what you're doing is really risky, really. Like, I don't know if you're gonna commit to it or it's just a fake. Yeah, you're gonna commit to one Colossus push. All right. I mean, the guy has to play catch up, so it's not that bad of a decision. But I'm just trying to put myself in your head, so that's why like I'm not having like a fluid like conversation with myself. But I mean, so you try to push to tell yourself like I feel like I have a big enough lead, I'll end the game. But then defender's advantage, you had Colossus and you have to walk all the way across the map, so then you transition out of that. But you still like haven't scouted them, you know, like that observer stayed with your main army, so you could definitely like, when you poked and you saw that like, oh well, I don't really want to engage this, on hotkey the observer and scout the main, like Is he double forging? Is he one forging? Is he not forging? Is he on double robo? Like, what is he doing? And then based on that, like, you make decisions. If he's on one forge, then you know, like, oh, alright, so I'm gonna go double forge to catch up. If he's on two forge, then maybe try to kill him without double forging. Maybe, like, don't stop the pressure and wait for the war prism. Make him pull in his main and then attack the front or something, you know. So because for, like, I mean, people don't really do this at your level, but sometimes they will. It's like when you play to win and you're so behind, you have to make a risk, and that risk has to be very high for you to come back. So like this guy, like, didn't take any risks, didn't make any DTs, didn't make any oracles, didn't really do anything special, and because of that, he's been behind the whole game, even though it's even, like, he lost a lot of workers, and because of that, he's behind 35 food. So if you're so far ahead that you don't take the time to scout his base, you might die to something funky, because that guy has to take, like, insane risks for him to come back. But luckily for you, he didn't do anything special, so you went macro, you're just pushing your lead forward, and this guy is coming to his inevitable death eventually. And I say that because, well, I assume that you win, actually. But, I mean, please, if you lose this, I don't, that guy had a very nice, those were on vacation. Oh, wow. Alright. I mean, the execution here is... Alright, so here's the deal, right? He pulled, like, he knew you were at this front, and he's not mining from anything here. Over making units here is a big no-no, and not reinforcing from this pylon is a big no-no. 7 gates, you need about 10. That's SimCity, man. So you need about 10 gates. So, like, I don't know if you're gonna die here, but you need Zots to meat shield that army. So yeah, I feel like you made too many here, and you didn't wait for enough reinforcement. So I don't know, if you lose those two Colossus, you might die. And that guy's not using. Or is he gonna use it now? So yeah, like right now would have been a good time for you to, like, just move in. Did that guy have an observer? So that guy didn't have an observer, right? So, but I mean, that's kind of tricky. But you could have had, like, you could have parked your observer here, 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 and then you see him move in, and then you go attack, and then you see him move back, and then you pull back, and then you see him move in, and you go attack. But no, you didn't, like... I feel like you just tried to macro behind it, and you could have, like, killed him. So yeah, of course it's good to spend your money, like you were floating like 1400, but it's also good to make him regret being in a situation like that. Like, you gotta make your opponent pay for the situation he's put himself in, and feel like you... Oh, so now that you had 3 probes, you decide to sacrifice the pylon. Don't worry, it happened to me too, back when I was playing for the first few months. Yeah, you have the Stalker Syndrome in PvP, man. The Stalkers, they don't do much for you. You're better off with a lot of Zealots and Templars and Archons. The Stalker Syndrome, the syndrome is when you make one, you make too many of one unit for that specific matchup. So like right now, well, you both have the Stalker Syndrome actually, but like you'd be better off with Zealots and Archons. Like Archons are super beefy, Zealots, they do a lot more damage than Stalkers, they attack a lot more faster. So I don't know, and you don't seem to be aware that he's there, so that's kind of unfortunate for you. Oh, you're expanding there. That's funny. Yeah, I don't see him. Oh, but he's gonna recall. Is he gonna recall? Recall! Why isn't he recalling? Alright. Well, I mean, yeah, that was, yeah. I mean, your army composition needs work, your decision making needs work, could be a little sharper. But yeah, all in all, I mean, like, I don't know how was your performance last time I checked your replay, I don't recall. But, it seems like you're doing kind of good for a diamond player. I know I said you were bronze. You should something about you being bronze last time I checked your replay, but yeah, I see improvement. You have a lot of. Your chrono's not so bad, but it's good to upgrade. Like you got blank. I mean, I could see why you would mix in more stalkers, but until you see Void Rays, then yeah, I don't see a reason why. But yeah, thank you N8JS for submitting this replay. I hope it was helpful. It was a fairly decent replay to analyze. You know, I had a lot of possibilities with the Warp Prism, with the pressure. The early game was funky but funny, so thank you for that. Thank you for sharing. But yeah, thank you. So guys, that was game 1. We'll be back with game 2 in a bit.